Hey everyone, Casey here from Clientric. In today's video, I will be talking about KPIs and how truly critical they are in your business. Now, how many of you know your KPIs off by heart? Can you tell me the top 5 you monitor in your business? Post them down below in the comments and let's see which are the most tracked. All right, before diving in though, please make sure you are subscribing to our channel as well as liking and commenting on these videos. It's extremely important to me to reach more people like yourself so we can continue to share our content with people who need it most. All right, KPIs. This is a huge topic, so I'm going to try to keep my rant reined in as much as possible. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicators. It is a metric that you decide on that is an important barometer for your business health. Really, it's like going to the mechanic and getting your oil changed in your car. You're taking your vehicle in to get serviced and get a checkup to determine its overall health. This is the exact same concept for KPIs, although you have all the information at your fingertips with KPIs. As a technology and business consultant, all too often we talk with businesses who are struggling to track their KPIs. They don't have the proper dashboard, the reporting processes in place. Worst of all, they are sometimes tracking the wrong KPIs. When it comes to choosing KPIs and metrics, there are a few important things you should really think about before deciding what they are. The first thing you want to look at is, what is the story the KPI is telling you? Does everyone interpret it the same way? If your team doesn't know how to interpret the information, then the wrong conclusions could be drawn. The second thing you want to look at is, does it follow the SMART method, and is it actually useful? So the SMART method is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And thirdly, you want to look at how difficult these KPIs are to actually gather. Do you have a system that can easily report on the info? If it takes you 5 hours to gather the data and create the reports, the likelihood you are going to be able to keep up with this is pretty small. Number 4 is, what industry are you in? This will impact the KPIs you want to track. Some have very specific needs that you will really need to track, like SaaS software or maybe even the hotel industry. I mention these being important thoughts because all too often we see businesses not taking in the full picture. The easy KPIs are revenue, expenses, and growth metrics. Pretty much all businesses track that, and they're pretty easy when you have an account providing you them each year. But what about the rest of the business? Even revenue, expense, and growth metrics don't paint the full picture. What about your operations, your marketing, employee satisfaction? Without tracking all these different KPIs for each department, you only have a snippet of the information you really need. Let's use our first example and look at a business that did $5 million in revenue and had a year-over-year growth of 13%. What does this tell us about the business? Well, we know they grew 13% year over year, so from $4.5 million to $5 million in revenue. But how? Why? What happened that caused this? What initiatives or learnings can we take away from this? Well, with this information, very little. Furthermore, this lack of information really opens itself up for a misinterpretation. When you don't have the full picture, you're going to make the wrong conclusions. Maybe you did $5 million revenue with year-over-year growth of 13%, and you think you're doing really well with those numbers. Now, what if in reality your margin decreased by 33% compared to your previous year? What does that tell you? Your costs went way up. You can now start asking, why did they go up? What contributed to that increase? In this example, we are looking at KPIs on a yearly scale, while you'll generally want to look at them on a monthly scale. Again, like going to get your vehicle serviced, you'll want to service your business every month. Set a time to review your KPIs, either with or without your team. Just make sure you do it consistently to keep an eye on the business health. This is another one of those tools in your tool belt you can rely on to help manage your business and ensure that you always have the best information to make informed decisions. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you got any value out of it, I ask that you like the video down below and give it a thumbs up in the comments. It really means a lot to me. As always, if you aren't already subscribed, I'm going to ask that you do that now. Please help us continue to get our message out there to other people like yourself. That's all for this one. I hope you have a great week ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.